Yesterday, Netflix released their trailer for The Magic School Bus Rides Again, a reboot of the original children's cartoon, and a majority of the feedback has been fairly negative. I took a read through the YouTube comments to see what the main complaints revolve around, and I found that it's mostly about the art style, the introduction of the new teacher, and caution after the downfall of the Bill Nye Netflix show, and heavy criticism of the recent Death Note Netflix movie. So let's take a really good look into The Magic School Bus Rides Again, and figure out if the concerns are valid, or maybe if we should calm down a bit. I'm Jayblooey, and please let this be a normal field trip.
Cruising on down Main Street, you're relaxed and feeling good. Next thing that you know, you're seeing a monster!
I love it!
Surfing on the sound wave, swinging through the stars.
Awesome!
Take a left at your intestine. Take your second right past Mars on the Magic School Bus.
Let's do this!
Now, if you've seen my channel before, you know that I can literally criticize a mountain and I will have fun doing it. However, this may be a more serious video because I take education very seriously, especially if it's directed towards children. Netflix has an extremely large audience and the power to put out very influential media to their viewers. So let's figure out if they did this right by starting with the basics. So in order to figure out if Rides Again is going to suck, we have to see what made the original such a classic piece of children's media. I encourage everyone to take off their rose-tinted glasses of nostalgia for a bit and go back and watch at least the first episode of The Magic School Bus from 1994. A good portion of my September 5th was dedicated to watching the first dozen episodes of the series to get a grasp on why I loved it growing up, and the good news is, The Magic School Bus is still a very fantastic children's educational cartoon. The original series knows exactly what it wants to be and it does it perfectly. It's a cartoon for young children that celebrates diversity and promotes education in a way that was genuinely fun. How do you explain to an audience that doesn't know how to tie their own shoes the intensity and grandeur of space? Well, by disguising it as an adventure in the very first episode. Even adults have trouble comprehending the universe, so explaining it to children is no easy task, yet it's a testament to the showrunner's success that this is actually one of the best episodes of season 1. The way they did this in The Magic School Bus Gets Lost in Space, and in every episode, is by simplifying a complex topic that gives children enough information to take away from it and sparks their own personal interest. The show presents all these different categories of science in a fun and positive light, while also remaining mostly factual, which in turn promotes natural curiosity in the viewer. I know it's shows like this that inspired me as a kid to pick up some serious children's science books, and to sit up in class when a teacher would talk about something that wouldn't seem interesting, like the weather. So the first thing that it gets right is education, especially for a younger audience. Oh, and I guess we can include inspiration as a subcategory as well. Now, a cartoon won't be successful unless it's fun to watch, and balancing that with an educational aspect can be difficult. Kids don't want to be bored, and kids don't want education shoved in their faces. That's why younger grades are filled with activities and active learning experiences, while still providing a day's worth of education related to the level of knowledge that the child should receive at their age. The original series excels in the fun aspect due to a lot of symbiotic parts, which are aspects that work together and improve each other while also keeping its own integrity strong. The list of aspects is great, so a brief overview of them include a bright color palette to create artistic interest, a diverse cast of original and relatable characters, a sense of wonder despite the show covering factual elements, a different topic in a unique story every episode, and a lovable and respectable guidance character. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff that the original show did right, so it's no wonder the popularity and respect that the show has garnered. So now that we broke down the two major aspects of this cartoon and its success, being fun and education, we can take a look at the criticisms regarding the trailer of the reboot series, The Magic School Bus Rides Again. First things first, the opening song is great. I'm a big fan of Lin-Manuel Miranda, and regardless of whether I like him or not, I was really happy they didn't change it up too much, because the bounce and the catchiness of the original is unrivaled. And from the opening shot of the trailer, I like the detailing of the solar panels and wind turbines on the roof of the school. It falls in line with the air of care that Miss Frizzle always had regarding the planet. Now let's jump back to the big complaints that people had, and we'll address them from what we can see. We'll start with the art and animation. I actually love the colors and the style of the backgrounds in the trailer. Everything looks highly detailed and interesting, especially since each environment is likely to be very different as the episodes continue. So past that, what is going on with these characters? Are these supposed to be the same kids as the original? What happened to them? I understand they wanted to update the art style, but now everyone looks way too different from the original designs. I mean, the Magic School Bus started in 1994. You could have had the cast of kids be a whole new class instead. I think that would have been a much better idea. And Miss Frizzle was always famous for her wacky outfits that revolved around the episode. Why is our reintroduction to her where she's wearing this outfit? Is she depressed or something? Or maybe it's due to her not teaching the class anymore and it's referencing that she's off to new things. Also, it's weird knowing and hearing that Lily Tomlin, Miss Frizzle's voice actor, has aged, yet the character has stayed apparently the same. Wouldn't it be cool to see the character aged up as well? It could fall in line with the original audience having grown up alongside her, but I guess they wanted to keep the same class. But why? If they're rebooting it for 2017, then a lot of stuff has changed regarding the world and how we've seen and studied things since 1994. That's 23 years, guys. So if it's the same kids, are they going to go on field trips about the same topics from the original, or is the show going to touch on new topics? I mean, the show strikes me as a continuation, so I hope they don't just gloss over or ignore the fact that there were 4 years and over 50 episodes of them altogether prior to this. Regarding the complaints about the character design, just take a look at this freeze frame right here and just tell me that this is a result of heavily discussed and designed creative effort. I mean, everyone looks the same. The coolest part about humans is how diverse we are. If you're going to enforce diversity in your cartoon, actually make it look like you care about what they look like. Everyone's head is the same, mouth is the same, their eyes are the same. It's all so boring. Just look at Wanda Lee. If your Asian characters look white, then you've really messed up. Why would you spend so much time making everything else look interesting when your characters are so bland? Alright, I think I got my point across there. So let me talk about the animation. The big issue that I can see, why does the character movement look so stiff? Now, it doesn't look like all the animation is like that, but you can definitely see drastic difference in character animation quality from certain scenes in the trailer. There's a part in the trailer where Ralphie just kind of flies on screen. Maybe it looks better in the actual show. I'm going to hold final reservations until I see the full episodes, because I know animation is really freaking hard and not to mention expensive. And there are some things that can be sacrificed to make other more important things look good, but ultimately, we'll see. Now for the big change. Miss Frizzle's little sister as the new teacher. Why? Maybe they explain it in the full show, but right now I really don't see why they introduced a new teacher. Obviously, the trailer hints at something important regarding Miss Frizzle's future, the original Miss Frizzle, so I acknowledge that. But Miss Frizzle was one of the driving forces of the Magic School Bus, and not just literally. She's very important to the show and to the viewers, so I just can't fathom why they would replace her. It's another thing that we're going to have to wait for the show to explain, but oh boy, it better have a good reason, otherwise it could really play a part in the downfall of this reboot. As a character, Fiona Felicity Frizzle literally has no point. Did they just put her in because she's younger and spunkier, or maybe it's because of star power? I don't understand. So now that we've addressed the concerns over the art, animation, and new character, that leaves the worrying about Netflix ruining this just like they did Bill Nye. Honestly, I don't think anything they try to reboot out of people's childhood could come close to the disappointment of that show, to be fair. Actually, to be 100% truthful, I think this show could be really good. The only opinions that can't be changed are the ones that people have about the character design, and young watchers won't care about that at all. So there's a good chance that this will actually be really good because of two things, and it's the same two things that we talked about earlier. Education and fun. If the reboot provides these two things even half as well as the original, then no. I don't think the show's gonna suck. Now, if you give kids a show that inspires them, then you have succeeded. From the trailer, it looks like that's what they're aiming for as well, so in my honest opinion, I actually think this could be really good. Sure, the characters look bad, and some of the animation is below expected quality, but if they have interesting topics and focus on what made the original so great, then this could be a slam dunk for Netflix. I guess we're all going to have to find out together when the show releases on September 29th. Hey everyone, I'm Jayblooey, and thanks for watching my video. If you're new here and you want more, you can check out my recent critique of the new Spider-Man cartoon series, or subscribe by clicking here. My next video will most likely be on OKKO, so if that's your kind of thing, then stick around.